Hello, this is Janet Taylor, the life organizer, and I am here again with Connie Mackey of Silver Haired Wisdom. I am so excited. Now, did you join us for our first conversation from the big house to the cozy corner? Well, today we're talking about cross country and courageous. I can't wait to actually dig into this conversation, but maybe you're here for the first time. So I am going to be quiet and allow Connie to just share a little bit more about Silver Haired Wisdom and that community that she is building.
Well, thank you, Janet, so much. Indeed, it is a mission from my heart. I am pouring my heart out on this website, and it is a space that I created for women that just don't fit in their own life anymore. And it's a community about trusting the wisdom within. And it's the wisdom that we as women have always carried. So just getting back in touch with who we are.
And I'm excited that you're starting this community because it's needed. We really have a lot of wisdom to share, but also,
Yes,
just kind of learning from each other on
yes.
how to navigate life, which is this topic today. Cross country and courageous. Because I'm telling you, Connie, I don't know how you did it. You always seem to do it. But how did you do it? Because you were navigating a move, navigating family stuff, but also for one of your moves, you were navigating health issues which were related to your eyes. How, I mean,
Mm,
how? How?
Janet. I'm going to really try and not be emotional, because you know I'm such a workaholic. And back in October 2024, my eyes started getting blurry a little bit. And I just thought because I lived in Las Vegas that, it's the dry eyes. And, I put some solution in my eyes and, I just kept on going. Well, I was like 24/7 in front of my computer, right? Just working, building websites, doing what I needed to do. And I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and the stress and just everything. And my eyes, started getting blurrier and blurrier. And do you think I did anything about it? No, I pushed through it. I just pushed through it until one day I woke up and the blurriness didn't go away.
Mhm.
And I thought that, well, okay, well, I'm gonna just put some solution in, and it's gonna be okay. Well, the next day I got up and it was still there. And again, I just poo pooed it. It's just, it's a fluke. I'm just really tired. I need to slow down, and I'm just under stress, and I just need to do what I need to do.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you remember when we were on a Zoom call and I had to get really close to the camera because I couldn't see you all. I mean, it was horrible. And you all were laughing at me, and I don't appreciate that. But it was horrible. It was just awful. I could just see shapes, but I couldn't see the facial expressions. It was the worst thing.
Mhm.
And I tell you, during that time, I learned a lot about because I couldn't text, I couldn't read, I couldn't
Mm.
drive, I
Mm.
couldn't I couldn't see signs. And it's so funny because I was driving. I know I don't want to hear it. I was driving because there wasn't anybody around to go get me food. And thank God the store was just right up the street. I drove to the store and I couldn't read the signs that pointed me to go a certain way.
Mm.
I didn't know what the signs were telling me. And the thing that really made me afraid, and I know I'm going off, the thing that really made me afraid was when I went to go and pick up the prescriptions for my eye. And I was leaving the pharmacy and I couldn't tell if I was going in the outdoor or out the outdoor because I couldn't read it. I was so embarrassed when I walked and people were coming in and I was trying. Oh, it was the worst thing ever. And it was at that point I said, I need help.
Mhm.
I need to be around somebody that I can call and say, can you pick me this? Can you pick this up for me? Can you get my prescriptions? I had friends in Las Vegas, but they lived like 30 to 35 minutes away. It
Mhm.
was too far.
Mhm.
So it was at that time, Janet, that the eyes, that's when I decided time to go home, time to
Mm.
move to Portland, Oregon,
Mm.
Gresham,
Wow.
Oregon. And that's what I
Wow.
did.
Wow. So, what systems helped you when you really, I mean, you had an idea, but the plan wasn't like concrete, and things weren't really fully mapped out. So how did you do that? How did you use systems?
So wait a minute. When you say things weren't concrete, now I was concrete about moving home.
Well, yeah, but in regards to, yes, you knew you were moving home. Yes, you knew, but sometimes you have a plan and you want to do it by a certain time and you have a certain deadline, but it doesn't work out that way. And then you've got other things because you still had to settle things where you currently were.
I know.
And so how do systems help you? I mean, I know in the last episode you were saying how you got out paper and pen, but I also know that you're very tech savvy with
Yes,
systems and apps. So
yes.
what worked for you?
Well, the only thing that I could do, because I could not see, was
Oh,
speak in my phone.
okay.
I mean, I use the voice memo. I mean, I
Mm,
learned all of these new accessibility tasks on my phone because I couldn't see my computer. I couldn't see the television. I
mm,
couldn't read things.
mm,
And even by the grace of God, I was able to figure out the settings on my phone so that when a text came in, then I could read it. I mean, it would read whoever is
okay.
texting me. So in terms of systems, it wasn't until I got my prescription filled and I could see just a little bit more that I was able to go back online and, do my research and find friends and ask for help that way. And then map out how I was going to do this move. And I will say this now, like I said in the last episode, I am a technology geek.
Mm-hmm.
And so AI was my best friend.
Mm,
I love Chat GPT
mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
was able, and in fact, I could speak to Chat GPT on my
Oh,
phone.
oh wow.
And
Okay.
so I was able to speak what it was I was thinking, even though I couldn't write it down. So
Mm,
that, and then, he would speak it back. So that really helped. Just having that system in place.
mm.
So that's how I navigated the
Wow.
move not being able to see real well.
Mm-hmm.
But then of course, once I was able to see, it was like guns blazing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this thing going. Okay, I'm taking this list now that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I'm going down that list. This is what I need to do. This is who I need to contact. This is where I need to get prices from. All of that. And then getting the boxes getting the boxes and then packing paper and understand. Now, I hadn't worked for the last 4 months.
Okay.
So there was the financial piece as well that wasn't quite there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a lot,
Mm,
Janet. It
mm,
was a lot. It was, I
mm.
know, I know.
So I guess my next question, because you had to do a lot of different things. You had to get, you know, temporary housing, you had to get
Mm.
storage, so was all that part of like once the eyesight was kind of really taken care of, was that part of the plan, or were you doing that while you were still dealing with the eyesight thing?
No, I definitely needed to wait. I
Okay.
I had to wait until
Okay.
I could at least see and
Mm-hmm.
read. And that's the other thing. I am a big researcher.
Yes, you
So
are.
I love, researching. So,
Mm-hmm.
getting prices for storage units
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
where it was located, as well as the timing of things. My lease was up in the condo that I was living in. I think it was, maybe March or April.
Mhm.
It was in
Mhm.
April. And
Mhm.
so I had to make sure that I would time like when I was going to move, as well as time as the storage unit, when I could move into the storage unit and pay for that. And then, the movers. You get the movers and you coordinate with them, and it, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a whole thing. And I'm
Mm.
I'm starting to feel stressed just kind of talking about I'm clutching
Sure.
my pearls.
So it seems like, because one of the things you said was you realized you were not around people
Yeah.
like family, friends. So when did that kind of kick in? Was it when you really started dealing with the I thing that you said, you know what, I need to prioritize, my space, my comfort, all these
Mm,
possessions with really being closer to family and friends?
absolutely. It was the eyesight. Yes, yes. I had, on one of the rare occasions, I was able to go for a walk. And I just, even though I couldn't see where I was going, it was the craziest thing. I needed to get out of the house.
Hmm.
I needed to just go out. And I remember sitting on a park bench and just looking at, thinking that the night before, when I went to bed, that this morning I would wake up and I would be able to see, and then not being able to see. So the frustration that I felt. And so when I got out and went out and I walked, I said, okay, well, what can make this better? I would sit down and just think to myself, because that was all I could do. I can't read. And I would listen to podcasts. And I said, okay, so how can my life be better? What can I do to make it better? Because this isn't working. And I got to a point, Janet, where I said, where was I the most happiest?
Mm.
And I was the most happiest in my life when I lived in Washington State. And that's where I'm at right now, as I'm living in Washington State. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to move back to Washington State. And it was at that moment I just decided that's what's going to happen. And I went back to my house and I just sat there because I couldn't do anything else. I listened to television, or I listened to
Mhm.
podcasts, or listened.
Mhm.
God, I couldn't even read the YouTube channels. I couldn't see
Mm.
that. So
Mm.
it was, yeah, it was just, it wasn't a good time. Boy, it makes
Mm.
you really, really appreciate your eyesight.
Yeah.
Take care of your
Yeah.
eyes, take care of your health,
Yeah, take
you
care of your health.
know?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, because
And
as you
have
were talking,
support.
I was thinking when I had to have major surgery, it was really nice to be surrounded by family and friends because for a while I
Gosh.
really couldn't, I couldn't cook, I couldn't do my laundry, I couldn't even sweep the floor. And of course, if I
Yes.
tried to, my best friend would have said, "Look, if I find the broom moved, you know." But you're right because, sometimes it's interesting because a lot of times people are like, "Well, you need to move here." And I'm like, "But if I move there, right now I've got a friend who maybe is a couple blocks away. I have
Yeah.
another friend who's a few more blocks down the street." And
Yeah.
I like that. And then also, in the event do have to go to a CVS, I can just walk. But you're right,
Absolutely.
it's important and it's so nice for you to share that, but also for you to really have a community where women can like, wait a minute, I'm
God.
feeling the same way. So maybe I need to connect with Silver Haired Wisdom. So
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
happy that you, started this community. Um, and for those of you, all of Connie's links will be in the show page and connect with her, or if you're watching this and thinking, you know what, so and so, then let them know about Silver Haired Wisdom as well. So of
Okay.
course, this episode is coming to an end, but we've got a couple more coming up as well. So please continue to join these conversations. Please comment below and let us know, what you enjoy, but also if there is something specific, a question you have for Connie or you have for me, please let us know below. So I want to thank you so much for joining us, and you continue to have a great day.